What's up, guys? This is Tyson. So in the past year and a half, there's been a lot of attention to things such as personal finance, the economy, and especially the stock market. And the stock market has been absolutely crazy in my opinion, with hitting new highs every so often, with stocks are rebounding. But a lot of that, I guess, speculation with the excitement, a lot of people have opened up brokerage accounts. And the one that caught eye to me, at least from an article that I read recently, is Robinhood. And everyone talks about Robinhood, but I found this is kind of interesting. So Robinhood actually recently filed confidentially an IPO, which is an initial public offering, for those that don't know. In other words, very simply, it's becoming public on the stock market. And so with that, a lot of people have been trying to figure out the valuation of what the company is worth. And just to show how much has grown in the past year, last year they were evaluated around $11.7 billion, which is quite a bit of money. But recently, for this year, they've been evaluated to be up to 40 billion, which is absolutely, it's just an astronomical increase of the worth of the company. And that just shows how much clients or people in general have been starting to invest. And another thing I wanted to look into is the comparison of Airbnb. When they first became public, it was about $68 per share, and overnight it increased by 112%, resulting in a price of $146, which is such a huge increase to be able to double the value of your company in over a night, basically. And so with the excitement of Robinhood and everything, I wonder if it's going to happen to the same thing. And who knows, it might be a good investment, it might not be. It's just for the market to decide. So these goals I actually wanted to make back in January of 2021, but there's been a lot of changes that have been happening in my life. I moved back home. I actually started at a different university with doing a master's program, master's in financial planning. I also started running for a different team, which has been, it's been a lot of fun. So, but overall, there's just a lot of factors that I've been trying to figure out whether or not I can apply these to my goals, or whether they're not factors at all. And so recently I've been able to kind of get a basis of an idea of what I want to do. And I just wanted to let people know that overall, these goals are just for me. They might seem aggressive, they might seem maybe too far-fetched for some people. Regardless, money is all based off perspective. There's some people, I have friends that are not going to school, that are working full-time jobs, that have a lot more money than myself, and I have other friends that are poor college students. So it's just it's based off perspective. So overall, I just want to let everyone know that this is just for me. Whether people make similar goals or whether they make different goals, it's as long as you're making goals to make progress, that's all that really actually matters. Anyway, with that being said, I don't want to reveal how much money I have or anything like that. I'm going to show some calculations of how much I've been able to save with living at home. And yes, I'm living at home with my parents, so that's, yeah. No, actually, it hasn't been that bad at all, but I'm just able to save a large amount of money, so that's why I'm able to make some of these goals. And in the future, I might not be able to do goals such as this because, you know, life changes and lifestyle changes, and whether or not you can save as much money compared to other years, it's all just depends on what's going on in your life. So with that being said, let's get to the numbers. So the way I'm going to actually calculate this is based off pay stubs. I've looked at my pay stubs for my current job, and I'm going to compare the gross to the net. And so obviously gross is 100% of what you get paid, while net is all the deductions such as taxes, retirement accounts. So overall, gross-wise, I'm going to start off with 100%. And then obviously the government wants so much money, so I calculated this to be about 15%, at least from my understanding with the paycheck that I looked at. And another 4% actually goes towards my Roth 401k, which is an individual retirement account, which is used to, that's money that I get to keep basically. It's a way to help build a retirement account so I can be able to have more money when I retire. So if anyone is able to do that, they should definitely do it. The other expense I have is actually my living expense, which as of right now, I live very, very, very cheap. A lot of people would actually say I've lived really frugally. This is actually even before I moved back home. So obviously before I moved back home, my expense was a lot higher, but at least for right now, my living expense, at least what I'm aiming for, is to pay about 9% of my paycheck for my living expense. And yes, that is because, yeah, I don't have to pay for the majority of my food, and as of right now, I don't have to pay for rent while I'm going to school, which is very beneficial. But that's just a benefit that I'm able to do right now. And obviously, when I was doing my undergrad, when I was living up in Ogden, when I was going to Weber State, I was living completely independently, and I was paying rent, so obviously my living expense would be a lot higher. Another major expense I have on my paycheck is I pay for at least 10% in a thing called tithing, and that's just part of my belief. It's basically money that I donate to a church for everything that goes with my faith and building that up. And this next percentage, I'm not exactly sure how it works exactly. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be turning 26 pretty soon, and the benefit of turning 26 is you get a kicked off your insurance. And so I don't know, I'm gonna be switching jobs and hopefully getting insurance through that way. And it's pretty hard to calculate because it's something I've never experienced in my life. And so I'm just gonna guess it's around 10% of my paycheck goes towards that. And I can be completely off. I don't know. This is just rough estimations, so I could be completely off. So hopefully these goals are still achievable with these calculations. So if you can subtract all those numbers, that's actually 52% of my paycheck that I get to keep, which actually is pretty remarkable that I'm able to keep around 52% of my paycheck for all the expenses I have with living, with taxes, with contributions to a retirement account, and my donations that I do. So that's the calculations I have with my paycheck. And so I'm going to apply these terms or these percentages to because I know for the next year I'm going to have similar expenses because I'm still going to be living at home for that time. It's not until the next year that I plan on moving out, and obviously my expenses will start increasing. And so with the job I want to switch to, I'm hoping, and this is another rough estimation, so who knows, maybe it could be less, it could be more, but I'm hoping to at least achieve be able to get a job that pays around $20 an hour for the summertime, and basically working full-time for the rest of the year, and also, I guess, basically just working for the rest of my life. So that's super exciting. So with these numbers, I'm actually going to I'll use $20 an hour, and I'm just going to calculate this for the rest of the year when I'm planning on switching that job. So as of right now, that's, $20 an hour. If you average 40 hours a week, which is actually what I'm planning on doing, and that would equal about $800 a week, and that's just gross. And then I'm going to compare that much money with how much time I have for the rest of the year. So I'm going to start in the summertime, which is going to be around June or July, which gives me approximately about half the year to work full-time. And with that, there's going to be 52 weeks for the whole year, so divide that by 2, that's going to be 26 weeks working full-time. So that's going to be 26 weeks of making $800 on average each week. So using that numbers, I can times those together, and it's going to be about $20,800 I'll receive gross-wise. That actually seems like a lot more money than I thought. But then if I calculate, or if I times it by the 52% that I'm planning on keeping or applying towards savings, that equates to $10,831 that I get to keep. So I'm just going to round that. It's going to be approximately about $10,000 because I don't know whether or not I'll be able to maintain that. I don't know if I'll be able to work that many hours each week, or if that's going to work throughout the whole rest of the year. But anyway, that $10,000 into savings, that's actually pretty remarkable, granted that I'll be attending school in the full-time during the fall semester and working full-time, and I'm just going to be a really busy person. So another goal I actually have is generating a certain amount of money for passive income. At least last year, I was able to generate about $600 of passive income. So in other words, it's money that I did not have to work for, and I just basically received it. And so free money, basically, which is something I really want to be able to develop over time, over the course of years and decades, because I want to be able to generate a passive income that pays for all my needs, and so when I retire, I really don't have to worry about money at all. Anyway, at least for myself, I am nowhere near that, and I wish I had enough money in the market to be able to pay for all my living expenses, but you got to start from somewhere. Anyway, so actually first let's talk about the sources that I have this passive income from. There's sources from having money in the bank, from credit cards. Primary source I track my passive income is from the stock market, from stocks that pay dividends or part of their earnings that they get as companies. And so with that being said, I made around $600 last year with all that passive income, which is actually pretty remarkable because it's been growing so much each year. So it's been exciting to actually to see that grow. But at least for this year, I'm going to stretch really far, and I'm going to try to make over $1,000 with passive income. You know, it's through the same methods, through banks. You know, last year I made about over $100 through interest, and that's because I have an online saving account, and you can actually see more information about that through my link right here, that about how I found my best bank. And the interest percentage is not a lot, but it's better than nothing, than the 2 cents that you get for having a regular bank account, which I don't know why anyone would have that. But if I can make it the same amount as last year, plus a little bit more with dividend increase from the companies I own, which does happen pretty frequently. Another major source that I've been messing around with, and this is another gray area, so maybe this goal is not very reasonable, but I invested some money into crypto such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm having that kind of loaned out to other people or corporations, however they do it, which in turn gives me a certain interest rate percentage back, and I get paid monthly based off that. I do get paid in those kind of currencies though, but it still has a value to that. So with the combination of bank accounts, credit cards, my investment portfolio with my Roth IRA, and then the crypto, which if you want to see how I do that, I'm actually going to make a video in the future, so hit the subscribe button. And with that, I'll be able to generate over $1,000 this year, so be able to save $10,000 for the rest of the year, and to be able to get $1,000 of passive income. That's what I'm aiming for this year, and I'm super excited. Those are goals that are going to make me stretch a little bit based off what I have right now, and I also want to contribute more money into the market so I can be able to generate more dividends. So with that being said, I want to just thank everyone that took the time to watch this video. Hopefully this helps inspire you for your own financial goals. Hopefully this keeps me a little bit more accountable to try to reach the goals I have. You know, if you have any questions or comments, well, I guess just comment down. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks.